This is the passenger side headlight. There's not much left of it, but I think I'm going to just scavenge the headlight part out of it because I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Okay, so there's really nothing wrong with this bezel. And the light, I'm going to reuse this light because on the light I bought, it's different just a little bit, the script logo, which this one already matches the other side, so I'll keep that the same. Now the headlight bucket here, let's take a look. There's really not much left of it. The whole back side's been all broken off. You know, I just look for any kind of like screws, nuts, and bolts I might want to take off. Maybe if I want to take this off and get an extra 10 mil, I'll do that. There we go. Just an extra bolt in case I need it. Headlight nut. Okay, it's one. There's our second one. You never know. Just in case. Just in case we might need one someday. That's one. Let's get this one zipped out all the way. We are out all the way. Okay. Just in case we might need these. I doubt it. But it pays to save stuff like this. You never know. Our headlight bucket. Scrap. Ooh, we got a little bit of cracky damage in here. Here's a spring. I don't know why we want to save that. Just in case. And what else do we got? Oh, okay. Now I get it. Now I understand. There was a piece like this I first took out in one of the first videos. I didn't know what it was. And that was the piece off of the headlight. That must be from the other side here where it's all missing. The old headlight door. And let's see, it's a T20 for the sides. You want to get that off. That's one of the parts I couldn't find, was this piece, the bucket that goes on the outside. And I was kind of wondering where it went, and until somebody said to me, well, you were driving, your headlights were on, right? And I was like, yeah. And then I was like, oh, duh. It dawned on me that it probably just blew off somewhere on the road. I thought, you know, because when your headlights close, this is inside the hood, but it's not when your headlights are on. So let's see. So that's a junk piece. This is kind of a little special screw here. The T20, the way it's big and threaded like this, and also beveled. I'll hang on to that. Let's see, there's one around the other side. And this headlight door, I don't think is good anymore because the brackets here are pretty much gone, and there's really no point of trying to source those out and try to glue those down. And here once again I'm just scavenging it for spare bolts. We'll just get this 10 millimeter, another clip, get this side off. There we go. That's one clip. That's two clips. Okay, now I'm going to take those big screws and just kind of thread them through here. This way, if I ever need them, I'll remember. These are for the side of the headlight. Hopefully that'll make sense to me. Okay, and then we got our bag of mystery bolts over here. Go ahead and add this stuff in. I'm building up a bag of hardware. I might even hang on to this panel and use this panel as like a test panel. You know, maybe put a scratch in it. You know, and see if I can wet sand it out and get it back to, you know, looking good the way it should be. There's some defects in here that are pretty much never going to come out, but who knows, maybe I could test new products on this, stuff like that. So I might hang on to this for now. It's pretty thin, doesn't take up too much room. I'm gonna go ahead and break this headlight down because it's pretty dirty. We don't know what might be living up in there. And the bucket's gonna be held on by a couple Phillips screws in the front. 2 of them. Let's get those out. Ugh. And then what else do we have there? Down below, a couple 10 mils. Buzz those out. I'm gonna get on there. Okay, now the cover is going to have those screws on the very sides. Let's spin this around here, which you can't get to because the bracket's in the way. We can turn the headlight motor, the end of it. Okay, that should be enough. Now I've got this screw exposed. I can come in and take that out. Oh wow, you're tight. Jesus. T20. Flip it around, go to the other side. Okay, so that just lifts right off. Ooh, yeah. Oh boy. It almost looks like this might have been out side in the dirt, upside down. I might reuse this headlight bucket. I almost threw this away. This is why you shouldn't throw parts away. But we'll see. We'll see how this one cleans up enough. It's kind of rusted. This is the fun in refurbishing some of the salvage parts. You get to clean them up and fix them, try to make them like new again. And heck, for the price I paid for it, I can't complain. Now, I've already got the outside piece off, all cleaned up. Not too bad. I can still see a few scratches on it. You know, this would pass on a driver car. I'm gonna get this out of the way. So let's get this headlight cleaned up. And I want to get the flat part, the door that's on the outside when it's closed. I want to get that off. I've already taken the 10 millimeters out on this side. And there's 4 of them holding. Ugh. This is why I'm so glad I got the gloves on. I'd hate to think some of that's like mouse poop or something. But on this side, there's a couple more 10 millimeters, which we can access through here. Let's get those out. Okay, that's the last one, so the outer plate should just release like so. Creepy, crawly, creepy, crawly, creepy. Oh god, there's some big spiders, and at least we're living in here. Set that off to the side for now. Looks like I got a lot of red overspray on here too. It's probably off a red car they repainted, so I'm gonna try and clean that as best I can. If I can't get it off, because a lot of times that paint is just, it's in the plastic, at least I can't remove it or figured out how. I'll probably just dust it with some black. Okay, let's get the headlight out. Boy, I'm glad I'm wearing gloves. I really am. Yeah, these are kind of rusty. I'll probably just reuse my old screws. Okay, let's get our bracket off. Get our headlight out. Unplug her. I'll probably keep the headlight as a spare. Come on, headlight. There we go. Let's see how These terminals look, if they're corroded at all, they just look kind of dirty, which is okay, because when you plug in the new one, it's just gonna scrape its way home, as long as it's not corroded and got the green stuff on it. Okay, let's set that aside. Ooh, we got a lot of rust here going on our headlight bucket. Yeah, this is my old bucket. There's just a little bit of light surface rust on it. You don't ever see that from the inside, probably even or the outside. So I think I'm gonna just use this piece instead of this, because this is really rusted. And before I take that bucket out, I just want to measure how far out is the screw. So this one's 3/8 inch proud. This one 3/8 of an inch shy. Okay. So now I can just zip those back out and put them back in. Okay, there's that one. Let's flip it over, take a look and see where our spring goes. Okay, it goes through the hole. One end clipped in that little hole, and then it comes through into the front. Oh, it's making dirt everywhere. Okay. So I could probably safely just kind of, do that with the spring. Okay, so our bucket, let's set that aside. Let's get this one out of here. This one's all pretty well rusty. Yeah, or crusty. Mine was better on the other headlight. Let's start cleaning. This I'm going to do on the ground. I know this is going to make a mess. So I can kind of scoop up some of this debris. Put a little pile here. Guess we'll do some of the smaller items first. Headlight. Ugh. God. Let's see, and then this rusty piece, I'm not gonna reuse this. I'll put this with a scrap parts I'm setting off to the side for now. Won't throw that away. We'll reuse this bucket. Fuck it. We'll reuse this bucket. Okay, so I'm gonna just set this aside, and maybe someday I might need a bulb. I don't gotta go to the store for one. Okay, what's next, Mr. Headlight door? And let's do the back side first, and I don't really want to scratch it up, although it doesn't really matter. Okay, I'm just gonna let that soak for a minute. Almost looks like maybe this was silver. And somebody painted this red. This is pretty clean now on the back side. About as clean as it's gonna get. I could always just shoot this with a little bit of black. May as well just come in here and get those off, because you know eventually they're gonna have to come off anyways when you do paint. Spin around. These guys are a lot harder to get off usually. They're the kind that want to stay in place once you put them on. And these little spring clips have like a retainer that snaps down in there, so it goes like this up under the edge. You can't get it off. You have to kind of get in there and pull back on that little retainer, and then this will slide up and off. Okay, so the bottom's all clean. Now I'll just go for the top. guess I gotta clean up the area I'm working in. It's making my workspace dirty. Just working on this. Well, I just spent probably about the better part of an hour cleaning just this part. Wow, it was dirty. Getting it with the super clean, I had to use like a horsehair brush and get in there and do everything and then wet it down and then come in with a rag. Any of the spots that had overspray from it being red, I just gave it a little light dusting of some black satin. I think it's still drying a little bit on the bottom here, but everything now looks black. We don't see any red anywhere on the bracket. I'm surprised that this all came kind of this clean. So I guess it's time to just start putting everything back together then. I think I'm just going to leave the headlight motor for now. I had thoughts of maybe doing the gear, but we'll see. We'll see. Okay, let's see. Next we got our bucket. That came from Nantucket. Yes, our bucket. Okay, so this has got to go right like so. Down our bucket, yo. So it's got to like pull in. It's got to have tension on it. Tension! Okay, so let's take our screws. And these screws looks like they have to go in the slot first and then kind of thread in. Let's see here, I'll just do these ones by hand. I don't want to force anything with a drill because we're going into plastic. Let's see here. This one. A little bit. Come on. There we go. A little off angle. Will you go in there? Yeah, you'll go in. Besides, I got a spare in case I break it. Okay, let's measure that again. Let's see, where's this one? This one's in a little more. I'll let this one out a little bit. I can always adjust this after the fact once everything's all put together, but it'll be close. A little under 3/8. Next up, the headlight. So I want to inspect how are the terminals. These look good, no corrosion. 4 screws for here, but these are pretty rusty, so I'm not going to use those. Let's use the original ones. Slug around in. Since we got the new one all nicely cleaned up, it's fair that I might as well just do the same thing to the driver one that was ready in the car. I mean, I will have to take these all apart anyways to get them prepped for paint. put this light back together. Okay, so I'm all cleaned up with the driver headlight. Pretty easy. I've got all my panels removed. You know, start getting those ready for paint. At least now when I touch this isn't going to be dirty. When I go back to reinstall it, everything will be nice and clean. And I'm going to put both the headlights aside, and it'll be time to move on to other things here. Stay tuned for more in the next part. Hope you enjoyed watching the video, and as always, thanks for watching.